Hi, I'm Wyatt Cash at Scoop News Group, and we're here at CyberTalks with Tony D'Angelo, Vice President, U.S. Public Sector at Lookout. Tony, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to be with you today. Thank you.
So let me start by asking, what does it mean to have a baseline level of cybersecurity in 2021 in light of what we've all been going through this year?
Yeah, it's a timely question. I think the executive order released by the White House last month really set that tone for the baseline, and it's zero trust. The network perimeter is gone. We know there's been an aggressive move to the cloud, but the agencies must follow the zero trust guidelines set forth by the administration. Zero trust is not trivial, right? I mean, really by definition, profiles need to be monitored closely. Access should only be granted dynamically to users and devices with acceptable risk levels.
And next, how would you say, looking back, how did the pandemic affect the way that organizations are securing their data, and particularly going forward?
Yeah, I think the most noticeable change and effect has really been through telework. Data is already residing outside the network. It sits in the cloud. It's on mobile and personal devices. And it's, we're accessing that data via home and public networks. So it's really any device, anywhere. So we have to shift our focus to protect that data wherever it resides. And I think there's even been some recent news where the current administration is continuing to push forward with more aggressive telework policies. So I think you're just going to see this trend continue, and just going to reinforce the fact that there is no network anymore. And again, any device anywhere is going to be critical.
Absolutely. Well, next, what kinds of changes do you expect to see in the cyber world over the next year or two?
Sure. I think that change has already occurred. It's really with ransomware, and we're seeing it every day, and we expect it to grow. And the stakes are high, right? I mean, one week it was a gas pipeline. Next week it was a meat distributor. And those were largely inconveniences, with certainly, I'm sure, some economic impact as well. But next time, what if it's a power grid? What if it's large parts of the internet that shut down, and potentially we have some life-threatening consequences? So I also believe that we're going to see more of a move to EDR and XDR, which is effectively endpoint detection and response. And this is really changing the mindset to be more proactive and threat hunting as opposed to reactive. So we should expect agencies are going to use more telemetry data for this proactive threat hunting.
And lastly, Tony, what's the biggest thing that you think most people don't really appreciate or understand about cybersecurity?
There's so much news on all these attacks, but I still think that there's a bit of this notion that we're fully protected and it can't happen to me. And what we do know is, throughout the history of cybersecurity and cyber attacks, the threat actors are constantly evolving and changing the attack surface and the type of attack. And we must understand that we're never done, or we're never secure, and we have to continue to evolve too. So if we sit back and wipe our hands and have this kind of aha moment, a feeling of safety and security, that's the moment where there's probably going to be an attack.
Well said. Well, Tony D'Angelo, thank you so much for taking time to join us today and share some of your insights with our audience at CyberTalks.
Thank you, Wyatt. Good to be with you today. Appreciate you having me.